My child, stop and listen, because heaven did not bring you here by accident. This is not just another video, and these are not just words passing across your screen. I have something to say to you, and if you rush past this moment, you may miss the very message your heart has been crying out for in silence. Stay with me. Do not skip ahead. Do not let distraction steal what I am about to place in your spirit, because what begins here can shift the direction of your life in ways you do not yet understand. I am speaking directly to you, and I need you to hear every part of this. Watch until the end, because this message was not sent to entertain you. It was sent to reach you. And if you walk away too soon, you may step out of the very moment heaven arranged to change everything. My child, I want you to slow down for a moment and truly hear me, because this is not an ordinary pause in your day. You may think you simply came across these words while moving through your routine, but I need you to know that this moment was not placed in front of you by chance. You did not stop here by accident. I know how quickly your mind has been moving. I know how many things have been pulling at your attention, how much you have been carrying, and how often you have kept going simply because you did not know what else to do. But I brought you here because I wanted a moment with you that the noise could not steal. I wanted a moment where my voice could reach you without being drowned out by fear, pressure, or the endless thoughts that have been exhausting your heart. This is not just another message passing through your screen. This is me reaching into your day because I care too deeply about you to remain silent. You have asked for signs in ways you may not even recognize. Sometimes you did it with words. Sometimes it was only a feeling, a question sitting quietly inside you, wondering if I still saw you, if I still heard you, if I still had something to say about your life. I heard every one of those moments. I noticed the heaviness you tried to hide. I noticed the nights that felt longer than they should have. I noticed the way you smiled in front of others while something inside you felt worn thin. That is why I arranged this. I did not wait for you to be strong enough, peaceful enough, or spiritually ready enough. I came to meet you exactly where you are, because I know this is the version of you that needs me most right now. You do not need to prove anything before you listen. You do not need to clean up your thoughts before you let my voice in. I am not asking for perfection from you in this moment. I am asking for your attention, because when you give me even a little room in your heart, I can begin to quiet what has been troubling you. So do not brush this off too quickly. If something inside you feels stirred, comforted, or strangely still right now, trust that. A gentle pause in your spirit is not meaningless. It is the beginning of you recognizing that I am closer than you thought. I am here with you in this very moment, not far away, not waiting for some future version of you. I am here now. Before I say anything else, I need this truth to settle deep inside you. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are not walking through this season by yourself. I brought you here because I love you, and I want your heart to remember that heaven still knows your name. My child, now that you know I brought you here, I want you to let me speak to the part of you that has been tied for longer than anyone realizes. You have carried things in silence that would have made other people fall apart, and yet you kept moving. You answered messages, handled responsibilities, showed up where you needed to show up, and somehow kept your face steady while your heart felt worn thin. I saw all of it. I saw the pressure you never explained. I saw the moments when your chest felt heavy for no clear reason. I saw the late hours when your mind would not rest, and the early mornings when you got up already exhausted. Do not dismiss that pain. Do not tell yourself it was small just because no one else understood it. Bring it to me now. Stop minimizing what has been hurting you. Let me look at it with you, because I already know how much it has cost you to keep pretending you were fine. You have spent so much time trying to be strong in ways that left you empty. You kept carrying what should have been laid down. You kept holding together what was already cracking inside. You kept telling yourself to push through, to stay composed, to survive one more day, and somewhere along the way you began to believe that your weariness meant weakness. It does not. Your exhaustion is not proof that you failed me. It is proof that you have been fighting too many battles without resting in my arms. Listen to me carefully. Stop blaming yourself for being tired. Stop calling yourself weak because you have reached your limit. Even the strongest heart grows weary when it carries grief, fear, disappointment, and unanswered questions for too long. Come closer instead. Let me carry what you have been dragging behind you. Hand me the burden you have named normal. Hand me the ache you have learned to live around. I did not create you to survive on fumes. I created you to live with my peace breathing inside you. I want you to picture this clearly, because your heart needs more than a concept right now. Imagine yourself standing in a dark room, holding bags in both hands, your shoulders burning, your breath shallow, and you are so used to the weight that you no longer remember what lightness feels like. That is how you have been living. Now imagine me stepping into that room, not to lecture you for carrying too much, but to gently take the weight from your hands one piece at a time. That is what I am doing even now. So breathe. Stay here. Do not rush past this part. Let yourself be seen by me without defending yourself. You do not need to explain your pain to earn my compassion. I already understand it. You are not invisible in your struggle, and you are not alone in the room. I am with you. I have always been with you. And I am asking you now, stop gripping what I am ready to lift. My child, I want you to understand something deeper now, because this is where your heart begins to recognize what is really happening. You may not remember a perfect prayer, a polished moment, or some dramatic cry for help, but I heard you long before you found these words. I heard you in the quiet sigh you released when no one was around. I heard you in the restless nights when you stared into the dark and wondered whether anything in your life would ever truly change. I heard you when you kept functioning on the outside, but inside you were asking, Lord, do you still see me? That was a prayer. It may not have sounded religious. It may not have come wrapped in scripture or spoken on your knees, but it reached me. Every hidden question, every private ache, every time you looked up in frustration or sat in silence because you were too tired to say anything at all, I heard it. So do not think this moment appeared out of nowhere. This is part of my answer to you. You have been looking for clarity, but sometimes you expected me to answer in a way that felt dramatic, immediate, and impossible to miss. Yet I often come close in ways that are personal enough for your soul to feel before your mind can explain them. I answer through moments like this, where something inside you slows down and says, stay here. Listen. That is not random. That is me stepping into the place where your questions have been living. Receive that. Stop assuming that because the answer did not arrive the way you imagined, it means I was silent. I was not silent. I was careful. I was meeting you in a way your heart could carry. If I had thundered over your life when your spirit was already tired, you might have mistaken my nearness for pressure. Instead, I chose tenderness. I chose timing. I chose a door your soul would actually open. So let this settle in you now. You did ask me for a sign, and this is one of the ways I am answering. You did ask me if I was still near, and I am proving that I am. You did ask whether your life still matters to me, and I am speaking because it does. Do not overanalyze this moment until you talk yourself out of receiving it. Do not let your doubt interrupt what your spirit already knows. Sit with me here. Let the answer unfold. Let your heart soften instead of harden. Open your hands, open your thoughts, and stop demanding that every holy moment arrive with fireworks. Sometimes my clearest answer comes like a hand on your shoulder in the middle of your storm, steady and warm, reminding you that I never left. That is what this is. I am answering you now, and I want you to stay long enough to hear what comes next. My child, before you think this is the first time I have reached for you, I want you to be honest with your own heart. This is not the beginning of my voice in your life. This is simply the moment you are finally still enough to recognize it. I have been speaking to you for far longer than you understand. I was there in the strange pause that came over you when you were about to make a choice that would have wounded you more deeply than you knew. I was there in the delay that frustrated you, in the door that closed when you were sure it should have opened, in the conversation that left you unsettled because something in your spirit knew it was not right. Do not call all of that coincidence. Look again. Let your memory open. Trace your steps with me. You will begin to see my fingerprints where you once saw only interruption. I have been whispering through your circumstances, not to confuse you, but to guide you. I have been turning your face gently, like a father guiding a child away from the edge of a cliff they do not yet see. You thought some of those moments meant I was absent, but many of them were the opposite. I was close enough to interfere. I was near enough to protect. When you felt the ache of a plan falling apart, I was not punishing you. I was preserving something in you that would have been damaged if I had let you force the door open. When you felt restless in a place that looked safe on the outside, that was not weakness in you. That was my spirit tapping on the walls of your comfort, telling you not to settle in what could not hold your future. Sit with it for a moment. Let it change the way you read your own story. Some of the things you mourn were actually mercies wearing unfamiliar clothes. Some of the detours that exhausted you were rescue routes. Some of the silence you resented was me teaching your heart how to listen beneath the noise. Stop assuming that because I did not speak loudly, I did not speak clearly. My voice is often more like a lamp than lightning. It does not always explode across the sky. Sometimes it simply lights the next step and after you to trust me enough to take it. So I want you to do something now. Stop arguing with every pause in your life. Stop calling every interruption a setback. Invite me into your memory and let me show you what was really happening. Ask me where I was in the moments you still do not understand. And listen, I am not ashamed of your questions. Bring them to me. Let me answer them slowly, gently, truthfully. I want you to see that I have not been distant from your story. I have been woven into it. I have been the quiet hand steadying the wheel while you thought the road was out of control. I have been the soft pull in your spirit, the uneasy feeling before the wrong decision, the peace that came when you finally let go. Do not rush past that realization. Receive it. You have not been abandoned in the silence. You have been led through it, and I am still leading you now. My child, now that you are beginning to see that I have been speaking to you longer than you realized, understand this. My voice is not meant to stop with you. What I am awakening in your heart is a seed, and seeds are meant to be sown so that a harvest of souls may rise. There are others still lost in the noise, still mistaking my guidance for coincidence, and I am calling you to help carry this light to them. As it is written, I give seed to the sower and bread for food, and I multiply what is released in faith. This is my living promise to you now. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not losing. You are planting into eternity. I will breathe upon your offering like oil upon fire, and it will spread farther than your eyes can see. This is your moment to partner with me, to turn revelation into impact. Do not delay when I am prompting your spirit. Step forward and give now. My child, I need you to release a lie you have been carrying, because it has been draining you more than you know. You have been treating your exhaustion like evidence that you are failing, but I want you to hear me clearly. Your weariness is not proof that you are weak in my eyes. It is proof that you have been carrying too much for too long without allowing yourself to be held. You have pushed through pain, managed around disappointment, and kept going in places where your soul was begging for rest. You told yourself that if you just stayed disciplined enough, stayed focused enough, stayed strong enough, you would eventually feel better. But strength without surrender becomes strain, and that strain has been pressing on your heart like a weight you were never designed to bear by yourself. So stop calling yourself broken because you are tired. Stop judging yourself for reaching your limit. Even a lamp flickers when it has burned through the night without being refilled. Come closer instead. Let me refill what has been running dry in you. You have become so used to functioning while empty that you hardly notice how much it has changed you. Your thoughts have become heavier. Your reactions have become sharper or quieter in ways that do not even feel like you anymore. Some days your heart feels like a house with every light on and no one resting inside. That is not because you are beyond help. That is because you have been surviving instead of being restored. I do not want survival to become your identity. I did not make you to drag yourself through each day as if peace were only for other people. I want you to stop and feel what had been happening. Do not run from that awareness. Sit with me in it. Tell me where you are tired. Tell me what has been wearing you down. Name the burden instead of hiding behind it. When you place it in my hands, it begins to lose its power over you. I am not asking you to become stronger before you come to me. I am asking you to stop trying to be your own shelter when I have already opened my arms. Picture yourself walking through a storm with your shoulders tight, your clothes soaked, your steps heavy, and you keep telling yourself you can make it a little farther without stopping. Then you look up and see the door of a warm house standing open with light spilling onto the path. That is what my presence is for you right now. I am not watching you struggle from a distance, admiring your endurance while you collapse. I am calling you inside. Step in. Close the door behind you. Let the noise stay outside for a moment. Let your breathing slow. Let your soul remember what safety feels like. I want you to receive this deeply. You do not have to earn rest from me. You do not have to prove you deserve comfort. You are my child. Come in from the storm. Stop pushing through what I am inviting you to lay down. If you will let me, I will not only ease your burden, I will teach your heart how to live lighter again. My child, now listen closely, because this is where many of my children become frustrated without realizing why. You have been asking me for answers, for clarity, for the next step, and I know that desire in you is real. I know you want movement. I know you want relief. I know you want to understand what comes next so you can stop feeling like you are walking through fog. But before I hand you direction, I need to steady your heart. I need to quiet the inside of you, because a restless heart can turn even a clear instruction into confusion. You have been trying to hear me while carrying anxiety in one hand and urgency in the other, and that is like trying to read a letter while standing in the middle of a storm. So stop for a moment. Set the urgency down. Release the pressure you have placed on yourself to figure everything out tonight. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders soften. Let your mind come down from the ledge it has been living on. I am not withholding direction from you to make you suffer. I am preparing you to receive it without fear twisting what I say. You want me to tell you where to go, but first I want to show you how to be with me. That is not delay. That is love. If I handed you a map while your thoughts were racing, you might still run in the wrong direction because panic has a way of turning guidance into noise. I want more for you than hurried obedience built on fear. I want peaceful obedience built on trust. There is a difference, and your soul can feel it. One feels like being chased. The other feels like being led. I am leading you. So come closer before you run ahead. Sit with me before you make another decision. Open your heart before you open another door. I want you to picture this. Imagine muddy water in a glass jar after it has been shaken. You cannot see through it clearly, not because the water is bad, but because it has been stirred too violently. That is what your inner world has felt like. If you simply set the jar down and wait, the water clears. That is what my presence does for you. I settle what has been swirling. I let the dust sink. I restore your ability to see. So do not rush me now. Stay in this moment and let me calm what has been churning inside you. Stop demanding the whole future when I am offering you my hand for the next step. Invite me into the places where your thoughts have been loudest. Tell me honestly what you are afraid of. Then listen, because I will speak, and when I do, I want your spirit quiet enough to recognize my voice. Let me teach you this sacred rhythm. First peace, then direction. First presence, then clarity. I am not trying to make you wait longer than necessary. I am teaching you how to hear without fear. If you will let me settle your heart, the path ahead will not feel like a threat. It will feel like home opening in front of you. My child, now that your heart is beginning to slow down, I want you to see something that has been shaping more of your life than you realize. The struggle has not only been the pain you carry or the questions you ask. The struggle has also been the noise surrounding you every single day. Your mind has been crowded. Your heart has been pulled in too many directions. You have been listening to fear, to pressure, to comparison, to memories that still sting, to voices from the past that should not still have authority over your present. You have let opinions sit too close. You have let old wounds keep whispering as if they still own the room. No wonder you have felt tired. No wonder peace has felt distant. You have been trying to hear my whisper in a house where every window is open during a storm. So I am asking you now, close the windows. Do not let every voice have access to your spirit. Guard what enters your thoughts. Be careful what you rehearse in your mind when the day grows quiet. Not every thought deserves your agreement, and not every fear deserves a seat at your table. I have been near you, speaking more often than you think, but the noise has been making my gentleness feel faint. That does not mean I am weak. It means I refuse to compete with the chaos you keep entertaining. I am not the voice that shouts you into panic. I am the voice that steadies you in the middle of it. So stop feeding what drains you. Step back from what keeps agitating your soul. Turn away from what keeps reopening wounds I am trying to heal. This is not about punishment. This is about protection. If a room is filled with smoke, even clean air feels hard to notice until the windows are opened and the poison begins to clear. That is what I want for you now. I want the air around your soul to change. I want the heavy atmosphere to lift. I want you to notice how much of your inner pain has been intensified by what you keep allowing to speak louder than my love. So do something practical with me right now. Silence what keeps stealing your peace. Put distance between your heart and the voices that leave you anxious, ashamed, or confused. Stop returning to the mental places where you always leave feeling smaller. Choose stillness on purpose. Sit with me. Read my words. Let my truth become the sound that fills the room. You do not need more noise. You need nearness. You do not need more urgency. You need my calm. Picture your soul like a room at dusk, cluttered and dim, with shadows stretching across the floor. Then watch me step in and light one lamp after another until the darkness loses its power to define what you see. That is how I bring peace, not always by removing the room, but by changing the atmosphere inside it. Let me do that for you now. Stay with me. Quiet what has been loud. Make room, and you will begin to feel how close I have been all along. My child, now that you have begun to quiet the noise, I want you to stop and notice something your heart has been missing. You have been speaking about heaven as if it were far away, as if my presence only belonged to special moments, perfect prayers, or days when you felt spiritually strong. But I want you to let that idea go. Release it. Set it down. I am not distant from you right now. I am not waiting on the other side of some impossible climb, watching to see whether you can reach me. I am here. I am near. I am closer than the fear pressing on your chest, closer than the thoughts circling in your mind, closer than the memories that still try to pull you backward. Do not treat my presence like a theory. Receive it like breath. Let yourself feel the possibility that this room, this exact place where you are sitting, can become holy because I am speaking into it. You do not need stained glass for that. You do not need a sanctuary built by human hands. You need an open heart and a willing pause, and I have already brought you into both. I want you to picture this clearly. Imagine you have been standing outside in the cold for so long that you forgot what warmth feels like. Your hands are numb, your shoulders are tense, and you have adjusted to the chill because you assumed it would always be that way. Then a door opens, and light spills out across the ground in front of you. You do not have to create the warmth. You only have to step into it. That is what my nearness is like right now. I am not asking you to manufacture a spiritual feeling. I am inviting you to enter what is already here. Come closer. Sit still. Stop chasing sensation and simply let your soul become aware of me. If your breathing has softened, if your thoughts have slowed even slightly, if something inside you feels less guarded than it did a few moments ago, do not dismiss that. That is not weakness. That is not fantasy. That is the beginning of your spirit recognizing the atmosphere changing around you because I am present in it. So I want you to do something simple and brave. Stay here a little longer. Do not rush ahead. Do not let distraction drag you out of this moment just because stillness feels unfamiliar. Let me be near without trying to explain every detail. Let your heart rest long enough to remember what safety feels like. You have spent so much time bracing for impact that peace feels strange to you, but peace is not foreign to me. It is my language. It is how I steady you before I strengthen you. It is how I hold you before I heal what has been hurting. So open your hands and your heart, even if only inwardly, and receive this truth. Heaven is not far from you, and I am not standing at a distance. I am here now, speaking softly, standing close, and inviting you to stop living as though you are alone in the room. My child, as you begin to feel how close I truly am, do not keep this nearness to yourself. My presence is like a river, and rivers are meant to flow, not remain still. There are hearts waiting in dry places, longing for the same peace you are beginning to taste right now. I am inviting you into something sacred. When you give, you become a vessel through which my presence reaches them. Did I not say that whoever gives even a cup of water in my name will not lose their reward? This is that moment, live and breathing before you. Through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are opening doors for my spirit to enter more lives. I will meet your generosity with provision, your obedience with favor, and your faith with increase. Step into this flow with me, Give now and let my presence spread through you. My child, now that you can feel my nearness, I need to speak to the place inside you that still carries shame like it belongs there. You have allowed your past to sit too close to your identity. You have replayed mistakes, wrong turns, wasted years, words you wish you could take back, and choices that still sting when you think about them. You have looked at certain seasons of your life and quietly decided that maybe you went too far. Maybe you delayed too long. Maybe you damaged too much for anything beautiful to still come from you. I want you to stop that now. Stop measuring your future by your worst moments. Stop handing your history the authority to define who you are in my presence. I know every part of your story already. Nothing about you shocks me. Nothing about your wounds surprises me. I saw the fear behind the bad decision. I saw the pain behind the compromise. I saw the loneliness behind the places where you settled for less than what I wanted for you. And still, here I am, speaking to you with love, not distance. And I confused conviction with rejection. When I show you what hurt you, it is not because I am trying to shame you. It is because I want to heal what you have been hiding. Shame tells you to cover yourself and stay away. My love tells you to come closer and let me touch what still hurts. There is a difference, and I want you to learn it. Think of your past like a room you locked because you were afraid of what was left inside. Dust gathered there. The air became stale. You stopped entering because it reminded you of who you used to be. But I am not asking you to live in that room. I am asking you to let me open the door, pull back the curtains, and let light into places that have been shut too long. I do not enter that room to accuse you. I enter to restore it. I enter to remove what no longer belongs. I enter because I refuse to let one chapter convince you that the whole book is ruined. So listen to me and receive this as truth, not comfort alone. Your past has not disqualified you from my love, and it has not canceled my purpose for your life. You are not the label your pain gave you. You are not the name your failure whispered over you. You are still mine. Let that settle. Come out from under the weight of old condemnation. Bring me the memory that still makes you wince. Bring me the regret you keep revisiting. Stop hiding it. Hand it over. I can redeem what you still resent. I can rebuild what you thought was beyond repair. Do not stay chained to a version of yourself that I have already been calling beyond. Lift your head. Open your heart. Let my mercy do its work. I did not bring you this far to remind you of who you were. I brought you here to awaken who you still are in me. My child, there are still parts of your story you have been reading the wrong way, and I want you to let me correct that gently. You have looked back at certain closed doors and felt only loss. You have remembered opportunities that slipped away, relationships that ended, plans that collapsed, and seasons that seemed to die in your hands. In those moments, you thought I had turned away from you. You wondered if I was withholding because you had done something wrong, or if I had simply chosen silence where you needed help. But I want you to stop and see what was really happening. Not every closed door was rejection. Some of those doors were my mercy standing in front of danger you could not yet recognize. Some of those endings hurt because you were attached to what felt familiar, not because it was truly meant to carry your future. I know what you cried over. I know what you begged me to preserve. I also knew what would have happened if I had let you walk through it anyway. You could not always see what I saw. You saw the surface. I saw the hidden fracture in the foundation. You saw the excitement of the opportunity. I saw the exhaustion it would bring, the compromise it would require, the way it would slowly pull you away from the person I was shaping you to become. You saw the comfort of keeping certain people close. I saw the quiet damage their presence would continue to do to your spirit. That is why some things were removed. That is why some doors stayed locked no matter how hard you knocked. Do not call that cruelty. Call it protection. Picture a father standing in a doorway while a child tries to run into a room where the floor is unstable. The child may cry because the father said no, but the father sees what the child cannot. That is what I was doing for you. I was not punishing your desire. I was guarding your future. So release the bitterness you still carry toward those moments. Stop grieving some things as if they were stolen when in truth, they were withheld to save you. I want you to revisit those memories with me now, but do it with new eyes. Bring me the door you still resent. Bring me the unanswered prayer that still aches. Bring me the name, the place, the opportunity, the plan you still quietly wish had worked. Lay it before me and ask me to show you what my love was protecting. Let me reveal the mercy hidden inside the disappointment. Let me heal the part of you that still feels rejected. You are not behind because something ended. You are not forgotten because something failed. You are being led. Trust that. Stop trying to force open what I have already closed. Stop standing outside yesterday's door while I'm preparing a better path ahead. Turn around. Take my hand. Walk forward with me. What I kept from you was not proof of my absence. It was one of the clearest signs that I was near enough to protect what you could not yet protect for yourself. My child, I know there were long stretches where you felt like nothing was happening. You prayed, waited, hoped, and listened, yet the days kept moving without the kind of answer you expected. You looked at your life and wondered whether I had gone quiet, whether I had stepped back, whether your prayers were simply hanging in the air with nowhere to land. I want you to let me speak into that misunderstanding, because what you called silence was not emptiness. It was preparation. It was the kind of holy work that often happens beneath the surface before anything visible begins to bloom. You have been looking for movement in the obvious places, but I was working in deeper places first. I was strengthening your roots before I allowed the next season to place weight on your branches. I was shaping your inner life before I released what your outer life was asking for. That is not delay for the sake of pain. That is love with wisdom. If I had answered some prayers too quickly, you would have stepped into blessing with a heart still too bruised, too rushed, or too unsteady to carry it well. Think about a seed buried in the soil. From above, it looks like nothing is happening. The ground appears still. The surface gives no applause, no visible proof, no sudden sign that life is forming underneath. But beneath that quiet, roots are stretching, the shell is breaking, and something alive is pushing through darkness before it ever reaches the light. That is what many of your waiting seasons have been. You judge them by what your eyes could measure, but I was doing work your spirit will only fully understand in time. I was loosening the grip of old fears. I was exposing hidden wounds. I was teaching you endurance, discernment, patience, and dependence in ways that could not be learned in a season of immediate reward. I was preparing relationships, shifting timing, aligning details, and protecting you from stepping too early into what would have looked like success, but would have carried the wrong weight at the wrong moment. So do not insult your waiting by calling it wasted. Honor it. There was purpose in the stillness, even when you could not feel it. Now I want you to do something important. Stop demanding proof before you trust my process. Release the need to understand every hidden detail before you obey the next step. Invite me into the places where impatience still lingers. Let me show you what grew in you when you thought nothing was changing. Look back and notice how much stronger, wiser, and more aware you have become, even through pain. That did not happen by accident. I was there in the quiet, shaping what would carry your future. So do not fear the hidden seasons anymore. Stay with me in them. Trust me in them. The ground may still look still to you, but life is moving beneath it. I have not been absent from your waiting. I have been building beneath the surface, and what I have prepared will rise at the right time. My child, now I need to speak to a place in you that hath been quietly exhausted for reasons deeper than pain alone. You have been trying so hard to be the version of yourself you think I will bless. You have tried to sound stronger, pray better, act more composed, appear more faithful, and keep yourself held together long enough to feel worthy of my help. But listen to me carefully now, because I want this truth to settle deep in your spirit. I am not asking you to perform for me. I am not waiting for a polished version of you to appear before I draw near. I am not standing at a distance with crossed arms, measuring your effort and deciding whether you have done enough to earn my tenderness. Lay that burden down. Stop trying to impress me with a strength that is wearing you out. Stop acting as if my love is a prize you win by exhausting yourself. I am your father, not your audience. I am inviting you into surrender, not performance. You have confused striving with faith in ways that have made your soul tired. You thought if you pushed harder, fixed more, held your emotions tighter, and disciplined every weakness fast enough, then maybe you would finally be ready for me to move. But the truth is, many times the thing standing between you and my peace has not been your weakness. It has been your refusal to stop long enough to let me carry what you cannot. Surrender is not laziness. It is not giving up on your calling. It is not becoming passive. It is the holy courage to admit that you were never meant to be your own savior. Picture a child trying to lift a piece of furniture far too heavy for small hands, straining, slipping, nearly falling, while the father stands close saying, "Let go. Let me take that." That is what I have been saying to you. Yet you kept gripping the weight because somewhere inside you believed holding it proved your devotion. It does not. Trust proves devotion. Openness proves trust. Coming to me honestly, tired and undone, is often the truest form of faith. So I want you to do something right now in your heart. Stop hiding behind spiritual effort. Come to me as you are. Bring me the tired prayer, the confused thoughts, the mixed emotions, the part of you that feels embarrassed by how worn down you have become. Do not clean it up first. Do not edit yourself before you approach me. Open the door and let me in. Tell me the truth. Tell me where you are afraid. Tell me where you feel numb. Tell me where you have been pretending. Then stay with me. Let me meet the real you, not the version you think sounds holy enough. I do not need your performance to love you. I want your surrender because surrender gives me access to the places performance keeps locked. Release the act. Drop the weight. Step into my arms. I am not calling you to impress heaven. I am calling you to trust me enough to finally be held. My child, as you lay down the burden of performance and step into surrender, let this truth settle deeply. Surrender also trusts me with what you hold in your hands. You are not giving to earn my love. You are giving because you already have it, and love must move. I see every quiet desire in you to help others feel what you are feeling right now, and I am saying to you, this is how you release it into the world. Like the widow's oil that did not run dry, what you place in my hands multiplies beyond your understanding. When you support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are pouring oil into a work I am sustaining. I will guard what concerns you, provide for what you release, and return it pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Do not hold back out of fear or hesitation. Trust me in this act. Surrender and give now. My child, I know you have been longing for visible change. You have wanted answers you can point to, doors you can walk through, healing you can measure, relief that changes your circumstances in ways no one could deny. I understand that desire, and I am not mocking it. I know how deeply you want something in your life to shift. But I want you to prepare your heart for how I often begin. The first breakthrough is not always loud. It does not always arrive with instant transformation, sudden applause, or dramatic proof that everything changed overnight. Sometimes the first sign that I am moving is far quieter, and because it is quieter, many people miss it. I do not want you to miss it. So pay attention. The first miracle may be that your breathing slows. The first answer may be that your thoughts are not racing the way they were. The first healing may be that you sleep again, that the tightness in your chest begins to ease, that the dread you carried into every morning starts losing its grip. Do not underestimate those things. Receive them. Honor them. It is often how I begin rebuilding a life, by restoring the inner ground before I reshape the visible landscape. You have been trained by pain to expect only dramatic rescue to count as real help. But I want to teach you to recognize my hand in quieter mercies. Think of a house after a long storm. The roof may still need repair, the yard may still be scattered, and the sky may still look gray in places. Yet the wind has stopped. The walls are no longer shaking. The air inside becomes still enough for a candle to stay lit. That stillness matters. That is not nothing. That is the beginning of safety returning. That is how my peace often enters your life. It settles before it shouts. It steadies before it expands. It creates space inside you where fear used to dominate. And once peace has a place to remain, your heart can hear me differently, choose differently, and walk differently. That is why I often heal the atmosphere within you before I change the conditions around you. If I changed your outer life without healing your inner world, you might still live as if you were under siege. I want more for you than relief. I want restoration. So do not rush past the subtle work. Do not call it small because it is quiet. Stay alert to the gentle shift. Notice the softening. Welcome the stillness. Protect the peace when it comes. When you feel even a little light returning, do not sabotage it by running back into the noise. Sit with me there. Let the peace deepen. Let it spread into the rooms of your heart that have been clenched for too long. Invite me to keep working. Say yes to the slow miracle if that is how I choose to begin. I am moving, even now, and I want you to recognize my fingerprints in the first places they appear. Sometimes the earliest sign that heaven has touched your life is not the door opening in front of you. It is the storm inside you finally beginning to calm. My child, I want you to understand the weight of where you are right now, because this is not just another emotional moment that fades when the day moves on. You are standing in a turning point. Something in you already knows it, even if you cannot fully explain it yet. That is why your heart feels more awake. That is why these words feel heavier than ordinary encouragement. I have been bringing you, step by step, through recognition, release, and quieting because I want you to see clearly what this moment truly is. You are not just being comforted. You are being invited to choose. You can keep living from the habits that pain taught you, or you can begin living from the trust I am calling you into. Do not treat this lightly. Sit with it. Let the truth of it reach you. The next chapter of your life is not formed only by what happens to you. It is shaped by what you agree with in this moment. So choose carefully. Choose with me. Do not let fear make this decision for you again. You have stood at similar edges before, But fear kept whispering that staying guarded was safer than surrender. Fear told you that control would protect you, that overthinking would prepare you, that waiting until everything made sense was wisdom. Yet you know where that path has led. It left you tired, cautious, hesitant, and often spiritually hungry even when you were trying your best. I am not condemning you for that. I am showing you that you do not have to keep repeating it. Picture yourself standing at a fork in the road at dawn. One path is familiar but dim, lined with the same old voices, the same old reactions, the same old inner walls that have kept you safe while quietly keeping you stuck. The other path is not fully visible, but my hand is extended there. You cannot see every turn, but you can see me. That is enough. You do not need certainty about every detail to move forward. You need trust in the one who walks beside you. So stop demanding total visibility before obedience. Take the next step. Let your foot land where my peace is, not where your fear feels most comfortable. I want you to respond now, not later in theory. Make a choice in your heart. Tell me what you are ready to stop agreeing with. Name the fear. Name the old pattern. Name the place where you have been living defensively instead of faithfully. Then release it. Hand it to me. Say, even if only inwardly, Lord, I will not let fear lead me here. That matters. That is not small. Turning points are often quieter than people expect, but they are real. They happen when a soul finally stops negotiating with what hath been holding it back. So do not drift through this moment. Step into it. Let it mark you. I am not asking you to be reckless. I am asking you to be willing. Trust me enough to move with me. This is not the end of your struggle in one instant, but it can be the end of letting fear decide who you become. Choose trust now, and let this moment become the place where your future begins to bend toward freedom. My child, now that you have recognized this turning point, I need you to understand what I care about most in this season. I know you want the visible things to change. I know there are situations in your life that need breakthrough, relief, healing, restoration, provision, and answers. I am not ignoring those needs. I see every one of them. But before I rebuild what is around you, I want to restore what is within you. Before I change the circumstances pressing against your life, I want to speak to the identity underneath them. You have spent too much time seeing yourself through the lens of pain, delay, rejection, disappointment, and survival. You have quietly accepted names that never came from me. You have called yourself behind, damaged, overlooked, too late, too weak, too complicated, too worn down. Stop that now. Those are not the names I speak over you. Do not keep wearing labels your wounds created. Come closer and let me tell you who you are before this world taught you to doubt it. You are not the person your hardest season tried to convince you that you became. You are not the version of yourself that emerged in panic, exhaustion, or heartbreak and assumed that was your permanent identity. Think of a mirror that has been covered in dust for years. The reflection is still there, but it looks dim, distorted, and harder to recognize. That is what pain has done to your self-understanding. It has not erased who you are. It has only covered the clarity. I want to wipe that away. I want you to see yourself as I see you. Loved, chosen, still called, still capable of carrying purpose, still able to walk into what I prepared for you. When I say I am restoring you, I do not mean I am turning you into someone else. I mean I am uncovering the person I formed beneath all the fear, all the shame, all the coping, all the noise. So let me remove what is false. Let me challenge the story you have been repeating about yourself. Let me interrupt the identity pain built around you like walls. Do something brave with me now. Stop speaking over yourself from old wounds. Stop agreeing with the voice that only remembers what went wrong. Open your heart and receive my words instead. Let me rename the places in you that have been living under the wrong title. If you feel small, let me remind you that you are held. If you feel forgotten, let me remind you that I have never looked away. If you feel disqualified, let me remind you that I still call you mine. This matters more than you realize, because if I changed your circumstances without restoring your identity, you might carry old fear into new blessing and still live like a prisoner in an open field. I want more for you than outward change. I want inward freedom. So stay here. Let me restore your sense of self in my presence. Let me rebuild your identity in truth. When you know who you are in me, the next season will not own you. You will walk through it anchored, steady, and alive. My child, now listen very carefully, because what I am about to say matters more than you may realize. The next season I am preparing for you is not only about relief. It is not only about finally seeing doors open, prayers answered, or burdens lifted. What is coming will also require growth in you. I am not saying that to pressure you. I am saying it because I love you enough to prepare you honestly. The blessing ahead is not meant to be visited by a fearful version of you that still lives in survival mode. The future I am shaping for you needs a steadier heart, a clearer mind, and a deeper trust than what pain has taught you to live with. So do not resist the refining that is happening in you right now. Welcome in. Stop asking only for change around you and begin asking for strength within you. Invite me to mature the places that still react from wounds, hide behind fear, or collapse under pressure. I am not just opening doors for you. I am preparing you to walk through them without losing yourself once you arrive. You have prayed for new things, but some of those new things would feel like too much if I did not first build more stability in your inner life. Think of a house being prepared to hold a second floor. The dream may be beautiful, the design may be right, and the expansion may be necessary, but if the foundation is not strengthened first, the added weight can turn blessing into strain. That is why I have been working in you the way I have. I have been exposing where you still seek approval too quickly. I have been showing you where you still panic when things feel uncertain. I have been revealing the habits that helped you survive an old season but cannot be carried into the new one. Do not call that process punishment. Call it preparation. Let me do it fully. Stop defending the patterns that once kept you safe but now keep you small. Release the need to be constantly reassured by circumstances. Let me teach you to remain steady even before the visible answers come. That is how I build a life that can hold what I intend to pour into it. So I want you to respond with courage now. Do not just ask me to change your situation, ask me to change you where change is needed. Ask me to strengthen what has been fragile. Ask me to heal what still overreacts. Ask me to anchor what still trembles. Then stay open when I answer. When I show you a habit that must go, let it go. When I expose a fear you have made excuses for, surrender it. When I ask you to slow down, slow down. When I ask you to trust instead of control, obey. This is not about becoming harder. It is about becoming more whole. I am not trying to make you rigid. I am making you rooted. Let me finish what I am doing in you. What is coming is good, but it deserves a heart that can carry it in peace. Trust me with this process, and you will not only receive the blessing, you will be ready to remain in it. My child, as I prepare you for what is coming, understand that growth is not only in what you receive, but also in how you release. The strength I am building in you is the kind that gives, the kind that trusts, the kind that invests in what carries my voice forward. There are souls attached to your obedience, people you may never meet, yet your faith will reach them. I have said that those who sow generously will reap generously, and this word is alive for you in this very moment. When you gave through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are strengthening the foundation of something eternal. I will establish your steps, expand your capacity, and protect what I am building in your life. This is not sluchaikaki. This is preparation meeting opportunity. Rise into this next level with me. Act in faith and give now. My child, now that you understand I am preparing you, I want to bring you into something even more personal, because this is where real healing begins. You have spent so much of your life learning how to hold yourself together in front of people. You learned how to answer when you were hurting. You learned how to smile when your heart was tired. You learned how to keep moving when your soul felt bruised. And slowly, without even meaning to, you started doing that with me too. You came near, but not fully. You prayed, but often from behind a wall. You spoke words, but held back the raw places. You gave me the polished parts and kept the trembling parts hidden, as if I needed you composed before I could truly receive you. I want you to stop that now. Stop pretending with me. Stop filtering yourself before you come close. You do not need to protect me from your tears, your frustration, your confusion, or your weariness. Bring me the real you. Bring me the part that feels embarrassed, the part that feels numb, the part that does not know what to say anymore. I can meet you there. I am not intimidated by your honesty. I am not offended by your struggle. I am not pulling away because you feel messy inside. In fact, the places you hide from me are often the very places I want to heal first. Think of a room in your house where the curtains have stayed closed for years. The air is stale, the corners are heavy, and you avoid entering because the darkness inside feels familiar but uncomfortable. That is what hidden pain becomes when you keep it locked away. Yet I am not asking you to clean that room before I step in. I am asking you to open the door. Let me walk in with you. Let me pull the curtains back. Let me let light into what you have been managing in secret. I do not enter to shame you for the mess. I enter because I love you too much to let you keep living around what I can restore. So stop apologizing for being human in my presence. Stop acting like your weakness disqualifies intimacy. It does not. It often becomes the doorway to it. So come closer now, but come honestly. Do not give me the edited version of your heart. Give me the truth. Tell me where you are angry. Tell me where you are disappointed. Tell me where you feel afraid, tired, ashamed, or uncertain. Speak plainly. Sit quietly if words fail. Stay near even if all you can offer is tears or silence. I am not measuring your prayer by how impressive it sounds. I am responding to the openness behind it. This is your invitation. Drop the mask, release the performance, and let yourself be fully known by the one who already knows you completely. You do not have to be strong in front of me. You do not have to be impressive in front of me. You only need to be willing. Come as you are and let my love meet you where you actually live, not where you think you should be. That is where freedom begins. My child, now that you have let me into the deeper places of your heart, I want you to lift your eyes beyond what looks still, because too much of your peace has been tied to what you can immediately measure. You keep looking at your life and asking whether anything is changing, but you are often judging by the visible surface alone. You look at the same room, the same bills, the same unanswered messages, the same routines, the same unresolved situations, and you assume that because your eyes do not see movement, nothing is moving. I want you to stop doing that. Stop measuring my work only by what appears obvious. I am already moving in places you cannot see. I am arranging conversations you have not heard yet, I am softening hearts you think are closed. I am redirecting timing, removing obstacles, exposing what is hidden, and setting things in order beyond your sight. Trust me enough to believe that unseen does not mean inactive. Let that settle into you. Your life is not frozen simply because the evidence has not reached your hands yet. Think of a sunrise before it reaches the room where you are standing. Outside, the horizon is already changing. Light is already pushing against the edge of darkness. The world beyond your window is already being touched, even if your walls still look dim. That is how many of my answers begin. They start beyond the edge of your current sight line, and if you only stare at the shadows around you, you will miss the fact that morning has already begun. I need you to guard your heart against that mistake. Do not let delay distort your perception. Do not let disappointment teach you to call hidden movement nothing. There are things I am doing that require time because they involve more than your immediate comfort. They involve alignment. They involve protection. They involve timing that keeps the answer from arriving before the ground is ready to hold it. So do not become impatient with what you cannot yet track. Instead, come closer and trust the one who sees the full picture while you only see one corner of the frame. I want you to practice this with me right now. Take the situation that feels the most stuck. Bring it before me. Hold it in your heart without panic. Then say, Lord, I choose not to judge this only by what I see. That is a holy shift. That is how trust begins to mature. Stop feeding the fear that says nothing is changing. Stop rehearsing the worst outcome as if it were already decided. Invite my peace into the waiting. Let hope breathe again. I am not asking you to deny reality. I am asking you to stop treating visible delay as final truth. Your future is not built only by what you can monitor. I am working behind the curtain, beneath the soil, beyond the closed door, inside the hidden places where my timing forms what your eyes will later call a miracle. Stay with me there. Trust what you cannot yet touch. I am moving now, and I want your heart steady enough to believe it before the evidence arrives. My child, now that I have spoken to you this deeply, I need to tell you something with tenderness and clarity. I do not want this to become another moment that touches your emotions and then fades when life gets loud again. I am grateful when your heart softens. I am near when tears come. I welcome the tenderness you feel right now. But I want more than a passing emotional response. I want your trust to take shape in action. I want you to answer me. Do not leave this moment unchanged simply because it felt meaningful. Let it become movement. Let it become obedience. Let it become a decision. You do not need to make 10 promises at once. You do not need to create a dramatic plan. But you do need to respond. So pause and ask yourself honestly, what am I asking you to release, to begin, to stop, or to surrender? Then do not delay. Take one step with me. That one step matters more than 100 feelings that never become faith in motion. Some of you have spent years being stirred, convicted, comforted, and encouraged, yet still returning to the same old habits once the moment passes. I say that with love, not accusation. I am not trying to shame you. I am trying to wake you. Inspiration alone will not carry you where obedience can. If you know there is a burden I have told you to lay down, lay it down. If there is a conversation you need to stop rehearsing in bitterness, release it. If there is a distraction that keeps numbing your soul, turn away from it. If there is a prayer you have avoided because you fear what I might say, pray it now. Picture a hand resting on a door handle. The door may be unlocked, the room beyond may be ready, and I may be standing on the other side calling you forward, but until you turn the handle, you remain where you are. That is what response is. It is not earning my love. It is stepping into agreement with it. It is saying, I hear you, Lord, and I will not leave this unchanged. So I want you to do something simple and real before this moment slips into memory. Choose one act of trust. Make it concrete. Speak honestly to me. Write the burden down and surrender it. Forgive the name you keep carrying in anger. Turn off the noise that has been stealing your peace. Return to the prayer you abandoned. Open my word again. Reach out for help if you need it. Stop waiting for perfect readiness. Obey while your heart is open. Let this message become a marker, not merely a mood. I am not asking for performance. I am asking for response. I am not asking you to become everything in one night. I am asking you to take my hand in one real way and move. Do not drift away from this moment. Seal it with action. Let your trust become visible in the choices you make after you finish listening. That is how healing deepens. That is how freedom grows roots. That is how the message becomes part of your life instead of just part of your day. My child, now that you have heard my heart, I do not want you to make a mistake that so many make after moments like this. Do not think that because these words are coming to an end, my presence is coming to an end with them. Do not treat this like a brief encounter that fades the moment the sound stops and the day resumes. I am not stepping away from you when this message ends. I am asking you to recognize that I will be with you after it ends in the same way I am with you now. Steady, near, attentive, and full of love. So do not close your heart when this is over. Keep it open. Stay soft. Carry this moment with you. Let it follow you into the next hour, the next conversation, the next decision, the next ordinary task that would have once felt heavy. I am not only the God of holy moments. I am the God of the moments that come after them. I am the one who walks with you into the quiet room, into the uncertain morning, into the place where you once felt alone. So do not say goodbye to me here. Instead, say yes. Say yes to walking with me beyond this moment. You have spent enough time believing that my nearness belongs only to special settings, emotional breakthroughs, or rare spiritual experiences. I want you to let that belief fall away now. Picture a child sitting beside a loving father at the table after a long conversation. The comfort is real. The safety is real. The closeness is real. But when the conversation ends, the father does not disappear. He stands up and walks with the child into the rest of the house. That is what I am doing with you. I am not leaving you in the doorway of this moment. I am walking with you into what comes next. Into the practical things. Into the places where your faith will need to breathe in real life. Into the moments where fear may try to return and tell you nothing has changed. When that happens, do not listen to fear. Turn toward me. Remember what I said. Return to this peace. Call on me immediately. Invite me into the next step instead of waiting until you feel overwhelmed again. Keep the door open. Keep the conversation going. Let this become relationship, not just inspiration. So here's my invitation, and I want you to receive it personally. Do not rush away. Do not leave this message and fall back into the same old inner posture. Walk with me now. Take one slow breath and offer me your next step. Give me your next hour. Give me the burden that will try to return. Give me the thought that will try to steal what was planted here. Stay aware of me. Speak to me through the day. Let me interrupt your fear. Let me steady your choices. Let me remind you, again and again, that you are not carrying your life alone anymore. I brought you here because I love you, and I am not letting go of you now. So rise with peace. Move with trust. Go forward with me. This message may be ending, but my hand is still extended, and if you will keep holding on, you will discover that what began as a moment has become the beginning of a new way of walking with me. My child, as you take my hand and walk forward, do not leave this moment behind. Carry it into action. What you have received was never meant to end here. It is meant to move, to multiply, to reach beyond you. I am calling you into partnership, where your giving becomes a voice that echoes my truth into lives still searching. As it is written, those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. And I am declaring that over you even now. When you support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are stepping into a living flow of blessing and purpose. I will go before you, surround you, and provide for you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Do not treat this as a passing feeling. This is a divine appointment. Take my hand fully, move in faith, and give now. My child, you have heard me calling you to move forward, but before you take another step, I want you to understand something important. Moving forward does not mean pretending you are not tired. It does not mean carrying every burden with you into the next season. There are things you have been holding so tightly that you have forgotten what it feels like to simply breathe. So before you rush into what comes next, let me meet you in the place where you are right now. Let me quiet the thoughts that have been fighting for your attention and uncover the weight beneath your urgency. You do not have to hide your exhaustion from me. You do not have to make yourself strong before you come closer. Stay here for a moment, my child, because I want to speak to the part of you that has been silently saying, I cannot keep carrying all of this. My child, stop for a moment. Just breathe. I know exactly how fast your mind is racing right now. You feel that knot in your stomach, that tight, heavy feeling that wakes you up in the middle of the night and makes it hard to breathe. That is not for me. Let us undo it together, right now. I see the intense pressure you are carrying at your job. I see the bills that make you anxious about tomorrow morning. I hear the unspoken tensions in your family, the quiet arguments that drain your energy and steal your joy. I know you feel completely overlooked, as if you are running an endless race with no finish line in sight. But right now, in this very second, I am stepping directly into your reality. I am breaking through the loud, exhausting noise of your daily life. Listen to me carefully. This is not just some message you stumbled upon by random chance. This is a divine interruption. I arranged this specific moment in your spiritual timeline because you desperately need to hear my voice today. Pay attention to the gentle pull inside your chest. You have felt it, haven't you? That quiet nudge when you are driving to work, or when you are sitting alone staring tiredly at a screen. That is my Holy Spirit. I am not far away, sitting on some distant, untouchable cloud. I am right there with you in your living room, in your car, in your workplace. I have always been right beside you, simply waiting for you to turn your head and give me your full attention. You often look for me in the spectacular, but I am whispering to you in the ordinary. Stop striving for just 1 second. Close your eyes. Do you hear it? It is the sound of my unfailing love, calling your name directly. I want you to drop the heavy bags of worry you are carrying. You were never meant to carry the weight of the whole world on your own shoulders. I am the God who easily handles the impossible, and I am commanding you to hand your heavy burdens over to me today. Do not mistake this moment for a simple coincidence. The world tells you that life is just a series of random, chaotic events. The world tells you that you are entirely alone, fighting for your own survival. That is a loud and dangerous lie. What is happening right now is a heavenly appointment. I have set this exact time apart just for you. I want to speak directly into the deepest, most hidden parts of your aching heart. I am preparing your mind to receive a powerful truth that will completely change how you view your everyday life. The world wants you to accept chronic stress and daily fear as completely normal. I am calling you to boldly reject that normal. I am challenging the status quo of your anxiety and your doubts. I invite you to step out of the rushing river of daily panic and stand firmly on the solid rock of my eternal promise. Take a deep, slow breath before you face your next challenge. Just like the quiet, heavy pause right before a major storm breaks, I want you to find that still, safe place inside yourself right now. Command your racing thoughts to be totally quiet. Invite my lasting peace into your tired mind. Feel my deep love wrapping around you, just like a warm, thick blanket on a freezing night. I am your loving Father, and you are my precious, highly valued child. I am holding your life together when you feel like everything is falling apart. Do not look backward at your past mistakes. Do not stare at the massive mountains of problems standing in front of you. Look only at me. Look at the one who commands the wild wind and the raging waves. When you finally stop running and simply sit with me, a deep, unshakable peace will settle over your mind. It is a peace that makes absolutely no sense to the loud world, but it will safely anchor your soul. Stay right here with me. Keep listening. Our real conversation has only just begun, and what I have to tell you next will change everything. My child, listen to me as I speak directly to the core of your identity. I know the heavy, invisible labels you wear every single day. The world has been cruel to you, handing you tags that say you are a failure, you are not enough, you are too late, or you are completely unlovable. You have looked in the mirror and silently agreed with those lies. You have let the harsh opinions of ordinary people dictate how you see your own soul. Take off those heavy, false labels right now. Hand them over to me. I am the creator of the universe, and I reject every single lie the world has ever tried to pin on your chest. Long before I laid the foundations of the earth, long before I spoke the stars into the dark sky, I saw your face. I knew your exact laugh. I knew your fears, and I decided that the world desperately needed you in it. You are not an accident, and you are certainly not a disappointment. I planned your existence with precise, overwhelming love. Close your eyes and let this absolute truth sink into your tired bones. I have written your specific name in my book of life. This is not a temporary list that can be erased when you make a mistake. Your name is carved deeply into my heart. Do you remember the exact moment you first felt a tiny spark of hope? The moment you first turned your face toward me, even if it was just a fragile, broken cry in the middle of a dark night. I remember it clearly. The very second you reached out, an eternal celebration exploded in heaven. I rejoiced over you. I did not look at your messy life and hesitate. I ran to meet you. Walk right now in the unshakable confidence of someone who is completely known and fiercely loved. You do not have to hide your flaws from me. I know every dark corner of your mind, every secret mistake you have ever made, and I still choose you. I look at you, and I see my masterpiece. Stand up tall today, because you belong to my royal family. You are a co-heir with my son, Jesus. This means everything he has secured is now entirely yours. The world tries to make you feel small, pushing you into corners, making you beg for scraps of affection and approval. I command you to stop begging for what I have already given you freely. You have a permanent, secure place at my table. You are not a guest who might be asked to leave if you say the wrong thing. You are my child. Your seat in my house is yours forever, and no human being, no demon, no economic disaster can ever take it away from you. Step out of the shadows of self-doubt. Lift up your head. When the world tries to shrink you down, remind yourself of who your Father is. Walk into your workplace, walk into your living room, and walk into your future knowing that the God of all creation knows your name, defends your honor, and deeply loves your soul. My beloved one, lay down your heavy weapons. Stop fighting so incredibly hard to earn my love. I watch you exhaust yourself every single day, running on a miserable treadmill of perfectionism. You try to say the perfect prayers, you try to fix all your flaws, and you beat yourself up fiercely when you stumble. You carry the heavy backpack of yesterday's regrets, constantly replaying your failures in your mind like a broken record. Drop that heavy backpack right now. My love for you is not a paycheck you earn by doing good deeds. It is not a reward for your good behavior. My love is a free, overflowing gift, and I am begging you to simply open your hands and receive it. Do not insult my grace by trying to buy it with your exhausting performance. Look directly at the hill of Calvary. See the brutal, beautiful depth of the sacrifice my Son made for you. That was not a symbolic gesture. It was a total, final payment for your specific, personal shame. When Jesus said, "It is finished," he was talking about your past, your present, and your future mistakes. He washed away the deep, dark stains of your worst decisions, the things you cannot even say out loud, the memories that make your stomach turn. I have washed them completely clean. They are gone. Stop digging up the ugly things I have already buried. I invite you to walk boldly into my throne room today. You do not need to stand at the door, trembling with fear and shame. Come straight to me. Climb into my lap. Let me hold you close, exactly as you are right now, in all your messy, beautiful humanity. Embrace my grace not just as a blanket to cover your sins, but as the powerful fuel for your real transformation. The world tells you that you must change yourself before you can be loved. I tell you that you must let me love you completely so that you can finally change. You are entirely free. Feel the massive chains of guilt falling off your wrists today. You no longer have to perform for me. You no longer have to pretend you have everything totally figured out. When you finally stop trying to save yourself, you give me the space to save you. Breathe in this unconditional grace. Let it soak into the dry, cracked soil of your heart. You are completely forgiven. You are entirely clean. Now, take my hand, leave the prison cell of your past mistakes, and step out into the bright, warm sunlight of my endless favor. My precious child, I see the terrifying storm that is raging around you right now. I see the medical diagnosis that knocked the breath out of your lungs. I see the bank account balance that makes you panic. I see the deeply broken relationship that leaves you crying on the floor. You feel like a tiny, fragile boat being tossed around by massive, violent waves. You are bailing water as fast as you can, and you are terrified that you are going to drown. Stop panicking. Look at me. The massive waves you fear so much are still completely under my divine command. The chaotic wind that threatens to tear your life apart still knows my voice. I am standing right here in the very center of your chaos, and I am speaking a firm, powerful command over your life. Peace, be still. Do not doubt my goodness just because the dark clouds refuse to part on your preferred schedule. I know you are incredibly tired of waiting for the sun to shine. I know you feel like I am sleeping while your world is sinking. But trust my perfect timing. I am never late, and I am never caught off guard by your emergencies. There is a deep, hidden purpose behind this brutal trial that is testing your faith. I am not punishing you. I am actively preparing you. I am using these fierce winds of adversity to steer your life exactly where it needs to go. Sometimes I calm the actual storm, and sometimes I let the storm rage while I calm you. Let me calm your racing heart right now. Breathe deeply. Let my supernatural peace act as an anchor for your anxious mind. Hear my unbreakable promise today. Absolutely no storm can sink the ship where I am the captain. You might get wet. You might get tossed around. You might lose some cargo that you thought you needed. But you will not drown. I am holding you securely above the dark water. Stop staring at the crashing waves and fix your eyes entirely on me. When the loud thunder of the world tries to drown out my voice, I want you to lean in closer and listen to my steady heartbeat. I am your absolute protector. I am your solid rock in the middle of this raging sea. Command your fears to bow down to my sovereignty. Give me the heavy steering wheel of your life. Rest securely in the bottom of the boat, knowing that the God who created the ocean is safely guiding you all the way home. My child, it is time to move deeper. It is incredibly easy to sit comfortably in the crowd and call me Lord. But today, I am calling you out of the safe, comfortable seats and into the beautiful, dangerous arena of radical faith. I do not just want your polite prayers on a Sunday morning. I want your whole, entirely devoted life. I am inviting you to step off the wide, easy road that the rest of the world is traveling. I want you to walk the narrow path with me. Yes, it is a harder path. It requires you to drop the heavy bags of your own selfish desires. But this narrow path is the only one that actually leads to the abundant, thrilling life your soul is desperately craving. Look at your hands. What are you holding onto so tightly that your knuckles are turning white? Is it your need to control your future? Is it a toxic relationship you are afraid to leave? Is it a comfortable job that is slowly draining your soul? I command you to open your hands right now. Relinquish those tiny, powerless idols. You cannot hold on to your own detailed map of the future and hold on to my hand at the same time. You must choose. I am asking you to boldly say yes to me before I even show you where we are going. Real faith is not taking a step when you can see the entire staircase. Real faith is taking a step into the absolute dark, trusting that I will put a solid step under your foot the moment you need it. Do not underestimate the massive power of your everyday choices. The tiny acts of obedience you make today, choosing to forgive someone who hurt you deeply, choosing to speak the truth while lie is easier, choosing to give generously when you feel poor, these choices echo loudly in the permanent halls of eternity. I will give you all the incredible strength you need for this journey. I will never ask you to carry a burden without giving you the power to lift it. Step out of your comfort zone today. Align your stubborn will perfectly with mine. When you finally surrender your desperate need for control, you will discover a wild, breathtaking joy that you never knew existed. Trust my leadership. Take the very next step and watch how I beautifully unfold the greatest adventure of your life. My child, you have just heard my call to radical obedience, and now I am inviting you to put that faith into immediate, powerful action. Do not just listen to my message. Become the very hands that carry this heavenly appointment to the ends of the earth. I am looking for those who will sow a sacrificial seed today through a super thanks or the link in the description, ensuring that my word continues to shatter the silence of this broken world. Remember my promise. He who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully, and I am ready to multiply your generosity into a massive harvest of miracles. Your support is the holy fuel that keeps this light burning for thousands of other weary souls who are desperately waiting to hear my voice. I see your heart, and I will pour out a blessing so great that you will not have room enough to store it. Do not hesitate or allow the enemy to steal this divine opportunity for impact. Reach out now, use the PayPal or membership tools provided, and plant your seed in the fertile soil of my kingdom. My child, do not pull away from me now. We have only just begun to uncover the deep truths your soul has been desperately starving for. It physically grieves my heart when you walk out of the room just as I am about to hand you your greatest breakthrough. The enemy is violently whispering right now, trying to distract you, trying to make you scroll away or close your eyes to this divine appointment. Do not let him win. It deeply wounds my spirit when you choose the chaotic noise of the world over my healing whisper. Stay right here with me. Honor this sacred moment. The very next words I am going to speak are the exact lifeline you have been begging for. My precious one, come close to me. Let me gently touch the hidden parts of your soul that are still bleeding. I see the deep, ugly wounds that you try so hard to hide from the rest of the world. I know about the bitter betrayal that shattered your trust. I know about the harsh words that cut you so deeply they still echo in your mind. I know about the profound losses that left your spirit completely shattered. You have carried this heavy, agonizing pain for far too long. You have built thick, cold walls around your heart to protect yourself from getting hurt again. I am asking you to let me gently dismantle those walls today. Let me apply the soothing, miraculous balm of my love to the toxic memories that still sting your mind. I am the ultimate healer of broken things. But for me to heal the wound, you must stop picking at the scab. You must release the heavy, burning chains of bitterness. I command you to forgive those who deeply hurt you. I am not saying that what they did was right, and I am not asking you to pretend it did not hurt. I am asking you to forgive them so that the toxic poison of their actions stops destroying your life. Give me your burning anger. Give me your desperate desire for revenge. Let it completely go. When you finally choose the incredibly hard path of forgiveness, you unlock the heavy iron door of your own prison cell. You allow my pure, cleansing light to wash out the darkness of your trauma. Do not look at your deep emotional scars with shame. The enemy wants you to believe that your scars are permanent signs of your defeat. I tell you that they are powerful, beautiful testimonies of your survival. You lived through the absolute worst, and you are still standing here. I promise you today that I will completely restore the years that the locusts have eaten away. I will take the ugly, broken pieces of your past and build a magnificent mosaic of grace. Take my hand right now. It is time to physically and emotionally walk out of the dark, cold tomb of your past trauma. Leave the grave clothes of your pain behind you on the floor. Step forward into the bright, warm light of my total restoration. You are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by the God who lovingly put you back together. My child, I want to talk to you about the deep, lingering ache you feel when you look at your life and wonder if you are truly making a difference. I see you quietly scrolling through your phone, watching the highlight reels of other people's lives. I watch you compare your quiet, behind-the-scenes struggles to their loud, public victories. You look at your daily routine, the endless laundry, the frustrating commute, the unglamorous tasks at your job, and a heavy, dark thought whispers that you are entirely insignificant. I command you to stop listening to the devastating lie right now. Hand me the heavy burden of comparison. I am your creator, and I hold the exact, master blueprint of your specific purpose. I did not design you to be a cheap copy of someone else. I designed you with a unique, unrepeatable mission that only your soul can accomplish. When you constantly compare your assignment to another person's path, you insult the careful, intentional work of my hands. Look at your own life through my eyes today. I know you feel stuck in the mundane, ordinary tasks of your everyday life. You wonder how sitting at a messy desk or taking care of a crying child can possibly have eternal meaning. Listen to me very closely. I hide my greatest miracles in the most ordinary moments. I'm calling you to find extraordinary, holy meaning in the exact place you are standing right now. Your natural talents, even the ones you think are completely useless, are actually powerful tools I have given you to build my kingdom on this earth. The way you patiently listen to a broken-hearted coworker, the way you create order out of chaos in your home, the way you smile at a stranger when you are secretly exhausted. These are not small things. These are massive, earth-shaking acts of divine love. I invite you to see your current job, your current neighborhood, and your current family as your specific, holy assignment. You do not need a massive stage or 1 million followers to change the world. You only need a willing heart and open hands. Step confidently into the urgency of this exact hour. The world is deeply broken and desperately hungry for the authentic love that I have placed inside of you. There is crucial work left to be done, and I am specifically counting on you to do your part. Stop waiting for some magical future moment when you finally have more money, more time, or more confidence. I command you to start building with the bricks you currently have in your hands. Offer me your simple, everyday obedience. When you finally surrender your desperate need to be seen as important by the world, you will discover the profound, quiet satisfaction of knowing you are exactly where I need you to be. I planted you in your specific soil for a massive reason. Trust my placement. Water the ground beneath your own feet. Embrace the beautiful, unique blueprint of your life, and watch how I use your ordinary days to leave an eternal, unbreakable legacy. My precious one, I feel the intense, paralyzing anxiety gripping your chest as you stand at this major crossroads in your life. You are staring down different paths, completely terrified of making the wrong choice. You stay awake late into the night, endlessly running through every possible scenario in your exhausted mind. You are listening to the loud, conflicting opinions of your friends, your family, and your own deeply rooted fears. The sheer volume of all those voices is entirely drowning out my whisper. I invite you to step away from the noise right now. Close your ears to the frantic clamor of human opinion. Come sit in the absolute quiet with me. I am not a God of confusion. I am the God of perfect clarity. I have given you my Holy Spirit to live inside you as a flawless, internal compass. But for you to read that compass, you must command your racing thoughts to be totally still. I see the deep pain you feel over the doors that have recently slammed shut in your face. You poured your heart into a job opportunity, a relationship, or a specific dream, and when it suddenly fell apart, you felt completely abandoned by me. I want to change how you see those painful rejections. I command you to start trusting my closed doors exactly as much as you trust my open windows. I love you far too much to let you walk into a room that will eventually destroy you. That closed door was not a punishment. It was my fierce, divine protection. I saw the hidden traps that you could not see. I am asking you to stop angrily pounding on the doors I have securely locked. Walk away from them with total peace, knowing that the God who sees tomorrow is actively clearing a much safer, much better path for your feet. When you do not know what to do next, I command you to simply ask me for wisdom. I promise to give it to you generously, without making you feel foolish for asking. Do not demand to see the entire horizon before you take a single step. I rarely show my children the entire map, because if I did, you would trust the map instead of trusting me. I am asking for your radical, blind trust today. Feel that deep, quiet peace settling in your chest. Let that specific peace act as the final umpire in your restless heart. If a decision brings you chaos and dread, step back. If it brings you a quiet, unshakable peace, even if it makes absolutely no logical sense to the world, step boldly forward. Take just the very next step. I will meet you there, and I will illuminate the step after that. My beloved, It is time to drastically change how you approach me. I watch you mumble rushed, tired words before you fall asleep, treating prayer like a chore you have to cross off your daily checklist. You come to me with memorized phrases that carry no real emotion, hoping that if you say the right formula, I will magically fix your problems. Stop doing this. I do not want your empty, religious rituals. I want a raw, honest, unfiltered conversation with you. I am your father. I want to hear about the massive argument you had this morning. I want to hear about the deep frustration you feel toward your boss. I want you to vent your anger, your doubts, and your fears directly to me instead of complaining endlessly to people who cannot actually help you. When you bring your raw, authentic mess into my presence, that is when true, powerful prayer finally begins. I want to teach you the absolute, undeniable power of your own voice. You are walking around completely unaware of the heavy spiritual authority you currently possess. When your home feels tense, dark, and suffocating after a bitter argument, do not just sit there and let the toxic atmosphere settle. I command you to open your mouth and begin to worship. Worship is not just singing pleasant psalms on a Sunday morning. It is a deadly, effective weapon against the darkness. When you speak my words out loud in the middle of your living room, when you praise me while tears are streaming down your tired face, you aggressively shift the entire atmosphere of your home. You literally tear down the invisible, heavy strongholds of anxiety, depression, and anger that the enemy has desperately tried to build around your family. I am warmly inviting you into the secret place today. Find a quiet corner, even if it is just your car parked in a noisy driveway, or a locked bathroom door when the house is totally chaotic. Meet me there in the absolute silence. This is where your true strength is forged. Stop talking about how massive your problems are, and start talking to your problems about how massive your God is. Use the heavy, powerful weaponry I have already placed in your hands. Speak my unbreakable promises out loud until your own ears hear them and your own heart finally believes them. When you trade your bitter complaining for aggressive, trusting prayer, you will literally watch the massive, immovable mountains in your life begin to crumble and fall into the sea. My child, I feel the cold, sharp grip of financial anxiety tightening around your throat. I see you sitting at your kitchen table, staring at the growing pile of bills, mentally calculating numbers that simply do not add up. You look at your bank account. You look at the rising cost of everyday living, and a dark, heavy panic sets in. You feel like you are wandering in a dry, barren wilderness where your resources are rapidly drying up. You are deeply terrified of running out of money, out of energy, out of time. I am speaking directly to the terrifying spirit of lack today. I command you to take a deep breath and look up from that kitchen table. Your ultimate provider is not your boss, not the economy, and not your own exhausted efforts. I am your provider. The bank of heaven never, ever suffers a recession, and my absolute supply is completely endless. I want you to remember the story of the manna in the ancient wilderness. I did not drop a year's supply of food all at once. I provided exactly what they needed for that specific day. I am asking you to trust me for your daily bread right now. Stop worrying about how you will pay a bill 6 months from now. Can you trust me just for today? I invite you to take the tiny, seemingly insignificant amount you have right now and place it entirely in my hands. You look at your limited resources and say, "This is not enough." But when you bring me your little with a deeply grateful heart, I perform the absolute miracle of multiplication. The quickest way to destroy the suffocating spirit of lack is to fiercely practice radical gratitude. Thank me for the roof over your head. Thank me for the food currently in your cupboards. I need you to understand the massive difference between temporary worldly riches and true, permanent spiritual wealth. The world tells you that security is found in a massive savings account and a perfect credit score. But earthly money can vanish in a single afternoon. True wealth is the unshakable, deeply rooted peace of knowing that the Creator of the universe takes personal responsibility for your daily care. I am giving you a solid, unbreakable promise today. I shall completely supply all your needs according to my glorious riches. I did not promise to supply all your selfish greeds, but I will absolutely provide everything you need to accomplish the specific purpose I have for your life. Lay your financial fears firmly at my feet. Rest securely tonight in the absolute guarantee that your Father knows exactly what you need, even before you ask. We have spoken of my provision in your wilderness, and I have promised that your bank of heaven will never suffer a recession. Now, I am calling you to step into the flow of my abundance by becoming a channel of provision for my word. Just as I multiplied the loaves and the fish, I will take your gift through a super thanks or a PayPal donation and use it to feed a multitude of starving spirits. My word declares that you should give, and it shall be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not a casual request. It is a prophetic appointment for you to partner with me in this rescue mission. By supporting this channel, you are laying up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy, making an eternal investment in the salvation of souls. I release a supernatural hedge of protection over your finances and decree an immediate end to the spirit of lack in your house. Go now to the description, choose your way to give, and watch how I open the windows of heaven over your life. Are you still listening, my beloved? Do not let your mind wander into tomorrow's anxieties. You are standing on the absolute edge of a massive spiritual shift, and it shatters my heart to watch you consider walking away before the heavy chains actually fall. I am pouring out the most intimate, eternal secrets of my kingdom directly into your life right now. To tune me out at this exact second would be to turn your back on the very miracle I am actively building for you. Do not disappoint my fierce love by treating this conversation like a casual distraction. Keep your eyes firmly locked on mine. The hardest part is over. Do not leave before you receive your ultimate provision. My precious one, we must talk about the sudden, dark shadows that creep into your mind. You know exactly what I am talking about. It happens late at night, or suddenly in the middle of a perfectly good day. A quiet, vicious voice whispers that you are a complete fraud. It tells you that your past mistakes have entirely disqualified you. It whispers that everyone you love will eventually leave you, and that you are utterly unworthy of real affection. Listen to my voice right now. That dark, mocking voice is the father of lies. He is a defeated, desperate enemy who only has one weapon against you, and that weapon is deception. He cannot actually destroy your life, so he sets subtle, toxic traps in your mind, hoping you will destroy yourself by believing his lies. I command you to stop agreeing with your enemy today. You must wake up and actively put on the full armor of God every single morning. This is not a religious game. This is a daily, brutal battle for your peace and your joy. You cannot walk out of your front door emotionally naked and expect to survive the heavy arrows of anxiety and depression. I am inviting you to aggressively cover yourself in my unbreakable truth. When the heavy feeling of worthlessness tries to pin you to the bed, you must speak my word out loud. Remind the enemy of the powerful, cleansing blood of my Son. That blood is an absolute, impenetrable shield around your mind. It completely covers your past, and it silences the loud, arrogant voice of the accuser. When the enemy reminds you of your past, I command you to boldly remind him of his future. Refuse, absolutely refuse, to believe that you are ever abandoned or alone. The enemy thrives in the dark corners of isolation. He wants you to pull away from your family, to hide from your friends, and to sit alone in your deep shame. Do not let him steal your joy for one more second. Recognize these dark, heavy thoughts exactly for what they are, a desperate attack meant to stop you from stepping into your great destiny. I am commanding you to stand incredibly firm. Plant your feet securely on the solid rock of my truth. You are deeply cherished. You are entirely forgiven. You are a powerful, highly guarded child of the Most High God. Shake off the heavy chains of deception right now. Lift your head up, look the enemy squarely in the eye, and fiercely declare the absolute freedom that I have already purchased for your soul. My child, I see how utterly exhausted you are. You wake up tired, and you go to sleep tired. I watch you pushing yourself far beyond your physical and emotional limits every single day. You live in a loud, demanding world that constantly shouts at you to hustle, to grind, to do more, and to be more. You check your phone late into the night, your mind racing through an endless list of tasks you did not finish. You carry a heavy, invisible weight on your back, terrified that if you drop the ball for even 1 second, your entire life will completely fall apart. I command you to stop right now. Put down the heavy burden. Come to me, you who are completely weary and heavy-laden, and I will give you true, deep rest. I am not offering you a quick vacation or a temporary escape. I am offering you the profound, soul-deep restoration that you desperately crave. I want you to radically change your understanding of the Sabbath. The world treats rest like a weakness, a luxury you can only afford when all your work is perfectly done. But your work will never be perfectly done. I did not design the Sabbath merely as a day on a calendar or a Sunday service you attend out of habit. The Sabbath is a permanent, quiet state of heart. It is the absolute trust that the world will continue to spin even when you stop pushing it. I command you to relinquish the crushing burden of trying to save yourself. You are not the savior of your family. You are not the savior of your workplace. You are a human being, completely dependent on my grace. When you refuse to rest, you are silently telling me that you do not trust me to handle your life while your hands are still. I invite you to find real stillness in a world that aggressively demands your constant movement. Close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath. Turn off the screens. Silence the notifications that constantly pull you away from my presence. I want to lead you beside the still waters. I do not want to shout over the noise of your busy life. I want to speak gently to you in the quiet moments. Let me actively restore your damaged soul. Allow me to wash away the chronic stress that is hardening your heart and making you irritable with the people you love. You do not have to live in a constant state of emergency. I am asking you to learn the unforced rhythms of my grace. Have you ever watched a tree frantically trying to grow? No. It simply abides in the soil, drinks the water I provide, and grows perfectly in its own season. I want you to live exactly like that. Stop forcing doors open. Stop running yourself into the ground to impress people who do not truly matter. Walk side by side with me. My yoke is incredibly easy, and my burden is deeply light. When you finally surrender your desperate need to be productive every waking moment, you will discover a profound, unshakable peace. Give me your exhaustion today. Trade your heavy anxiety for my divine rest, and watch how I beautifully sustain your life when you simply trust me enough to sit still. My beloved, I know you are standing at the absolute edge of your endurance. I see the exact moment when you hit a solid brick wall and you want nothing more than to completely give up. You look at your struggling marriage, your rebellious child, your failing business, or your chronic illness, and you quietly whisper, "I simply cannot do this anymore." I hear that painful whisper. I do not judge you for your profound weakness. In fact, Your absolute weakness is the exact place where my massive power begins to work. Stop trying to pretend that you are strong enough to handle this brutal situation on your own. I command you to lean your entire heavy weight onto me. When you have absolutely no strength left, my power is made completely perfect inside of you. I want to teach you the powerful secret of supernatural endurance. This endurance does not come from drinking more coffee, reading more self-help books, or trying to find a hidden reserve of willpower inside yourself. True, unshakable endurance comes entirely from waiting on the Lord. I know you hate waiting. The world has taught you to demand instant results. But waiting on me is not a passive, lazy activity. It is an active, fierce trust. It is choosing to stand firmly on my promises even when your current reality looked completely opposite to what you prayed for. While you are waiting, I am quietly rebuilding your spiritual muscles. I am deeply securing your roots in my love so that the next storm will not blow you over. When you feel completely grounded, chained to the dirt by your heavy failures and your massive fears, I promise that you will rise up on wings like eagles. Do you know what an eagle does when a violent storm approaches? It does not hide. It spreads its wings and uses the fierce winds of the storm to lift itself completely above the dark clouds. I am going to teach you how to use the fierce storms in your life to rise higher. You will soar directly above the petty arguments, the office gossip, and the daily anxieties that used to completely consume your mind. I am the permanent strength of your heart. When human motivation fades, my supernatural energy will aggressively carry you forward. I command you to overcome the intense temptation to give up just before your breakthrough happens. The enemy always hits you the hardest right before you cross the finish line. He wants you to drop your sword in the 11th hour. Do not quit. Do not surrender your fierce hope. I am asking you to see your current limitations not as massive roadblocks, but as perfect, open opportunities for my divine glory to shine brightly through your life. When people look at you and wonder how you are still standing, you will point directly to me. Take one more step today. Breathe in my strength. I will hold your heavy arms up until the final victory is entirely won. My precious one, we need to talk about your deep isolation. I see how you have slowly pulled away from other people. You have been deeply hurt by friends, misunderstood by family, and perhaps even wounded by people inside my own house. The heavy pain of that church hurt has caused you to build massive, cold walls around your heart. You tell yourself that it is much safer to walk this spiritual journey entirely alone. You whisper, "It is just me and God. I do not need anyone else." I command you to reject that dangerous lie today. I did not design you to be a lonely, isolated island. I created you to be a vital, living part of the body of Christ. When you cut yourself off from the community of believers, you literally cut yourself off from a massive source of my healing and my strength. I am calling you to find true strength in the messy, imperfect community of fellow believers. Yes, people will sometimes fail you. Yes, people are broken. But I passionately use broken people to heal other broken people. You desperately need someone to look you in the eye and remind you of my truth when you are too exhausted to remember it yourself. You need a brother or a sister to literally hold your arms up when you are completely losing the battle. I command you to step out of your comfortable isolation. Embrace the holy duty to actively carry one another's heavy burdens in love. When you help carry a friend's agonizing grief or their financial panic, your own massive problems suddenly lose their overwhelming power over your mind. I want you to experience the friction of iron sharpening iron. You cannot become a sharp, effective weapon in my hand if you only surround yourself with people who agree with everything you say. You need godly friends who love you enough to tell you the hard truth. You need accountability to keep you from wandering back into the dark habits I already rescued you from. Do not run away when a true friend lovingly points out your blind spots. That gentle correction is my absolute mercy trying to protect your future. Lean into the friction. Let it completely refine your character. Never underestimate the massive, earth-shaking power of unified prayer. There is a specific, heavy spiritual authority that only unlocks when you stand shoulder to shoulder with other believers. When you gather together in my name, dropping your pride and crying out to me with one unified voice, the atmosphere of your entire city shifts. Generational chains are brutally broken. Massive miracles are released. I am commanding you to find your tribe. Reconnect with my people. Forgive the ones who hurt you in the past, and boldly open your heart to the family I have placed around you. You were absolutely never meant to walk this difficult, beautiful path alone. My child, I am placing a mirror in front of you today. I want you to look closely at how you are spending your life. Every single breath you take, every dollar in your bank account, every natural talent you possess, and every hour of your day is entirely on loan from me. You are not the true owner of your life. You are the temporary steward of the Master's incredible gifts. I watch you carelessly spend your highly valuable time endlessly scrolling through meaningless distractions. I see you waste your sharp mind worrying about things that will not matter in 5 years. I command you to stop wasting the massive treasure I have entrusted to your hands. One day, you will stand before me, and you will have to give a strict account of what you did with the specific resources I gave you. I invite you to radically shift your perspective right now. Stop living for the temporary, fading applause of this world. Stop investing all your massive energy into building a comfortable life that will eventually rust and turn to dust. I command you to start living with a fierce, eternal perspective. I want you to embrace a heart of radical generosity. When you clutch your money, your time, and your energy with tight, greedy fists, you entirely block the massive flow of my blessing. But when you generously open your hands, when you give your money to someone who desperately needs it, when you give your precious time to listen to a broken friend, you trigger a massive, supernatural law of multiplication in your own life. You cannot ever outgive me. I am calling you to intentionally cultivate the fruit of the Spirit in the overgrown garden of your daily life. This is hard daily work. It means actively pulling out the ugly weeds of your sharp anger, your bitter jealousy, and your deep impatience. It means choosing to plant the beautiful seeds of love, joy, peace, and intense self-control, even when your circumstances are incredibly chaotic. Your character is the only actual thing you will take with you into eternity. Pay close attention to what is growing in your heart. If your daily habits are producing toxic fruit, I command you to change your habits today. Allow my Holy Spirit to aggressively prune away the dead branches of your selfish desires. You have a massive circle of influence, even if you do not fully realize it. You do not need a massive public platform to change the world. Your main platform is your kitchen table. Your platform is your office desk. Your platform is the checkout line at the grocery store. I command you to use your specific influence to point lost, broken people directly toward my pure light. Speak kindly. Act with extreme integrity. Love people fiercely. When your short time on this earth is completely finished, the greatest reward you will ever receive is not a massive bank account or a famous name. The ultimate prize is looking directly into my eyes and hearing me say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord." My faithful steward, you understand now that every gift you possess is a sacred loan from my hand, and today I am asking you to use a portion of the treasure for my glory. I am inviting you to join the inner circle of this mission through channel membership or a direct gift, becoming a pillar in the house I am building. Do not allow your resources to sit stagnant. Let them become a rushing river of life that carries my message of grace to those trapped in darkness. I have told you that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So place your treasure here in the work of my Spirit. As you honor me with the first fruits of your increase, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and cause your storehouses to burst with new wine. This is the hour to use your influence for a cause that will echo through the halls of eternity. Your generosity today is the answer to someone else's desperate prayer for a word from me. Act with the authority I have given you. Click the support links below and fulfill your role as a distributor of my kingdom wealth. My precious one, do not close your heavy eyes yet. I feel the exhaustion of the world trying to violently pull your attention away from my voice. It brings actual tears to my eyes when I see you endure the painful fires of life, only to walk away right before I hand you the glorious crown. I implore you, with all the desperate, protective love of a father, do not stop listening now. We are walking into the deepest, most holy part of your destiny. If you walk away now, you are leaving your spiritual armor lying completely untouched on the ground. Press in. Fight the distraction. Finish this powerful journey with me, because what I am about to reveal will change the entire trajectory of your future. My beloved, I must prepare your heart for the harsh reality of the path you have chosen. If you truly follow me, the world will eventually turn its back on you. I see the deep anxiety you feel when your friends mock your faith, when your family members misunderstand your convictions, or when you are quietly passed over for a promotion because you refuse to compromise your deep integrity. You desperately want to be universally liked. You want to fit comfortably into the crowd. I command you to completely drop that desire right now. I did not call you to blend into the darkness. I called you to be a blinding, unavoidable light. You cannot fiercely stand for my truth and expect the deeply broken world to give you a standing ovation. I am calling you to find a strange, massive joy in being counted worthy to suffer for my name. When people insult you, when they cancel your reputation, when they deeply misjudge your pure motives, do not quickly rush to defend yourself. Do not return their bitter anger with more anger. Stand incredibly tall. Let my Holy Spirit fill you with a fierce, supernatural boldness that completely destroys the heavy fear of man. Why do you care so much about the passing opinions of ordinary people who cannot save your soul? Their judgment is entirely temporary. My absolute approval is eternal. I command you to fear me more than you fear the sharp tongues of your loud critics. Do not ever be surprised by the hatred of the world. Remember this absolute truth. The world hated me long before it ever hated you. They mocked me. They completely misunderstood my mission. They violently nailed me to a cross. If you are truly walking in my exact footsteps, why do you expect the world to treat you any differently? I am asking you to wear their rejection as a badge of incredible honor. When the pressure aggressively mounts and you are tempted to quietly water down your faith just to keep the peace, I command you to stand completely firm. Refuse to bow down to the modern idols of absolute convenience and cultural approval. I have a massive, beautiful crown of life safely reserved for those who remain totally steadfast under intense pressure. Do not focus on the loud insults of the people standing around you. Focus your eyes directly on the massive balcony of heaven. There is a great, innumerable cloud of witnesses, saints, martyrs, and faithful believers who walked this exact fiery path before you, and they are aggressively cheering you on right now. They are shouting for you to hold the line. Keep your heart completely soft, but keep your spine entirely made of steel. I am standing right beside you in the absolute middle of the fire, and I promise you that the brief pain of this persecution cannot even be compared to the massive, eternal glory that is about to be revealed in you. My child, I know how incredibly difficult it is to believe in what you cannot physically see. You live in a world that demands hard proof for everything. You want a clear sign, a burning bush, or a loud voice thundering from the sky to tell you exactly what is going to happen tomorrow. I see you standing in the dark, desperately holding on to a promise I gave you months or even years ago, and you are exhausted from waiting. You look at your current circumstances, and your physical eyes tell you that absolutely nothing is changing. I command you to close your physical eyes right now. Open the deep, spiritual eyes of your heart. I am calling you into the beautiful, profound mystery of faith. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is a solid, unbreakable bridge between your current reality and my eternal promise. I require your absolute trust far more than I require your complete understanding. If I explained every single detail of my plan to you, you would not need faith at all. You would only need logic. I am asking you to completely surrender your desperate need to have all the answers. Walk blindly by my spirit, not by the limited sight of your physical eyes. When the massive, fiery darts of intense doubt and overwhelming panic start raining down on your mind, I command you to aggressively lift up the heavy shield of faith. Those toxic darts will whisper that I have forgotten you. They will tell you that your situation is entirely hopeless. Refuse to listen to them. Hold your shield high. I promise you that even a tiny, fragile mustard seed of raw belief is powerful enough to completely move the massive mountain of doubt standing in your living room. You do not need perfect, flawless faith. You only need to place your imperfect faith in a perfect God. Do not panic when you find yourself walking through a season of severe spiritual drought. I know you feel completely dry right now. You read my word, and it feels like empty ink on a page. You pray, and it feels like your words are hitting the ceiling and bouncing right back down. During these incredibly hard, dry seasons, you assume I have walked away from you. Listen to me carefully. I am actually doing my deepest, most critical work in your life right now. When a strong tree goes through a severe drought, it is forced to push its roots much deeper into the dark earth to find hidden water. I am currently forcing your roots to grow deeper. I am stripping away your shallow reliance on emotional highs and religious feelings. Trust my steady hand in the absolute dark. Keep planting your seeds of belief in the dry dirt. I promise you that the rain is coming, and when it finally falls, you will be anchored so deeply that no storm will ever be able to uproot you again. My precious one, I urgently need you to change the way you look at the people walking right past you every single day. You see a crowded grocery store, a frustrating traffic jam, or a stressful office full of difficult coworkers. I want you to look closely through my eyes today. I see massive, sweeping fields that are completely white and ready for harvest. I see broken, desperate, lonely people who are secretly crying themselves to sleep, heavily burdened by the exact same anxieties you used to carry. I did not rescue you from your deep darkness just so you could sit comfortably in a safe, well-lit room. I rescued you so you could turn around and pull others out of the exact same fire. I command you to wake up to the fierce urgency of this specific hour. Time is incredibly short, and the critical work I have assigned to you is far from finished. Stop hiding the brilliant light I have placed inside of you. You are terrified of sounding strange or overly religious. You are deeply afraid that people will reject you if you speak my name out loud. I command you to throw off the heavy, suffocating blanket of your social anxiety. You are a blazing city set on a high hill, and you absolutely cannot be hidden. I am not asking you to stand on a street corner and shout angrily at strangers. I am asking you to look at the exhausted cashier, the angry neighbor, or the quiet friend with profound, radical compassion. They are not your enemies. They are beautiful, captive souls that I desperately want to bring back home. I invite you to start planting simple, powerful seeds of truth every single day. Speak a kind word to someone who expects to be ignored. Pay for a stranger's meal. Share the raw, honest story of how I pulled you out of your own depression. You might completely walk away thinking that your small action did absolutely nothing. You might never see the final growth of the seed you planted. That is perfectly fine. Your only job is to plant the seed. It is my job to make it grow. Do not let your fear of failure stop you from reaching out. Every single time you show my pure love to the least of these, you are directly loving me. Heaven is not celebrating your massive bank account or your job promotion. The angels in heaven throw a massive, earth-shaking celebration over just one broken soul that finally turns around and runs into my arms. I am inviting you to join me in the greatest, most thrilling rescue mission in the entire history of the world. Open your mouth. Reach out your hand. The massive harvest is waiting for you today. My beloved, come sit closely with me. We need to talk honestly about the heavy, dirty secret you have been fiercely trying to hide. I see the persistent sin that keeps violently pulling you back into the mud. I see the addictive habit you promised you would stop last year. I know about the dark websites you click on when you are completely alone and feeling empty. I see the destructive anger that causes you to scream at the people you love the most. You are deeply ashamed. You feel like a total hypocrite when you come to me in prayer. You think I am looking down at you with cold, bitter disgust. Look directly into my eyes right now. I do not feel disgust. I feel an overwhelming, fierce compassion for your struggle. I command you to stop hiding your dirt from me. Bring your massive, messy failures entirely out into the light. I did not die on the violent cross just to manage your bad behavior. I died to completely shatter the heavy iron chains of your captivity. The powerful blood I shed is more than enough to break every single generational curse that has haunted your family line for decades. You do not have to drink like your father drank. You do not have to rage like your mother raged. I am offering you the profound, supernatural power to completely leave the old, broken version of yourself buried in the dirt. I invite you to walk boldly in the absolute newness of life today. But to experience this radical freedom, you must use the powerful gateway of true repentance. Repentance is not just crying hot tears of guilt. It is making a brutal, final decision to turn your back on the poison that is actively killing you. I command you to stop casually playing with the fire that burns you. Flee aggressively from the loud temptations that trap you. Do not trust your own weak willpower. When the dark urge rises up in your chest, do not try to fight it entirely on your own. Run desperately toward my embrace. Cry out my name out loud. Allow my Holy Spirit to aggressively do the daily, painful work of sanctifying your heart. I am cutting out the deep roots of your selfish desires and replacing them with a fierce hunger for my purity. Refuse to identify yourself as a helpless addict or an angry failure. I have already declared you a total conqueror through the massive love I have poured over you. Stand up right now. Shake the heavy, dirty dust off your clothes. Your past failures do not define your future. Take my hand, and let us walk confidently out of this dark prison cell together. My child, I feel the intense, agonizing pain you are experiencing right now. You feel like I have taken a sharp knife to your life and cut away things you deeply love. A relationship abruptly ended. A job was suddenly taken away. A long-held dream completely shattered right in front of your eyes. You are standing in the wreckage, looking up at me with hot tears streaming down your face, asking, "Why did you let this happen?" I command you to wipe your tears and listen to me with a completely open heart. I did not take those things away to brutally punish you. I took them away because I am the master vine dresser, and I am fiercely committed to your ultimate growth. I need you to understand the painful, necessary process of spiritual refinement. If a branch on a vine is left to completely grow wild, it will produce a massive amount of beautiful, green leaves, but it will produce absolutely no fruit. I do not want your life to just look pretty on the outside. I want your life to carry massive, lasting, eternal weight. To get that rich fruit, I must aggressively cut away the things that are secretly draining your energy and hindering your purpose. I know the pruning shears hurt. I know it feels like you are losing a massive piece of your own identity. But I command you to totally trust my precise, steady hand even when the cut goes incredibly deep. I see the toxic connections and the comfortable distractions that you could not see. I remove them to save your soul from slowly dying. I invite you to abide deeply in me during this incredibly painful season of stripping away. Do not run away from me because you are deeply offended by my methods. Lean directly into the sharp pain of the cut. When you stay tightly connected to the vine, the raw, open wound will rapidly heal, and new, powerful life will violently push its way through the scar. I give you my absolute, unbreakable promise today. I only prune what I fully intend to massively bless. A season of intense stripping is always the direct guarantee of a season of unprecedented growth. Stop mourning the dead branches I cut away last year. Get ready. The heavy, beautiful fruit I am about to produce through your surrendered life will completely blow your mind. Trust the painful process. I know exactly what I am doing, and the final harvest will be absolutely glorious. I have shown you the beauty of the pruning process and the promise of a greater harvest, and now I am calling you to activate that fruitfulness through a bold act of giving. When you support this work through Super Thanks or PayPal, you are not just making a donation. You are stoking the fire of restoration that is burning through the lives of all who listen. I am looking for those who will stand with me in the gap, providing the means to reach the brokenhearted and mend the shattered spirits of my children across the globe. Malachi 3:10 is my living contract with you. Test me in this, and see if I will not pour out a blessing that overflows your boundaries. Your gift is a prophetic weapon that breaks the chains of the enemy and prepares the way for my glory to be revealed. I promise to restore everything the locusts have eaten in your own life as you prioritize the advancement of my word. Do not let this moment of spiritual momentum pass you by. Open the description, select your gift of faith, and sow into the miraculous restoration of souls today. Hold on to my hand. We are nearing the absolute summit of this massive mountain, and I need your complete, undivided attention. It deeply grieves my spirit when my children fight through the brutal wilderness, survive the painful pruning, and then casually walk away just seconds before the miraculous harvest begins. Do not abandon our holy conversation. Do not break the profound connection we have built in this sacred hour. I am pleading with you, do not surrender to apathy right now. The final, earth-shaking impartation of my power is waiting for you in these last few moments. Stay completely awake. Listen to my heartbeat. We are about to cross the final finish line together. My child, I see you staring intensely at your screen, watching the dark, frightening news of this broken world unfold. I watch your heart rate instantly increase as you read the loud, panic headlines. You hear the constant, angry rumors of wars. You see the sudden economic shaking, and you feel the heavy, dark unrest spreading through your own streets. You feel a deep, terrifying knot forming in your stomach, and a voice whispers that the entire world is completely falling apart. I command you to stop listening to that voice of panic right now. The world is not falling apart. The world is falling exactly into place. I told you these specific things would happen. I gave you the clear, biblical markers of the age we are currently living in, not to make you terribly afraid, but to make you completely prepared. I am calling you to stay entirely awake and alert in a world that has fallen into a deep, ignorant sleep. I invite you to aggressively shift your focus away from the chaotic noise of human panic. You cannot constantly feed your mind with the terrifying news of the world and expect to maintain the deep peace of heaven. I command you to firmly guard your heart and your mind. I need you to be incredibly wise as serpents but completely harmless as doves. This means I want you to be totally aware of the darkness around you, but absolutely untouched by its bitter hatred. Do not let the massive anger of divided politics and furious social debates poison your pure spirit. You are an eternal citizen of my kingdom first. When the loud world demands that you choose a side in their petty, angry fights, I command you to simply choose me. Speak my fierce, unconditional love into rooms that are completely filled with bitter hate. I'm asking you to carefully check the current condition of your spiritual lamp. Is it fully trimmed? Is it completely filled with the fresh oil of my Holy Spirit? You cannot survive the growing darkness of this hour relying on the stale oil of yesterday's prayers. You need a daily, fresh encounter with my presence. When the sudden shaking comes, and everything that can be shaken is brutally violently shaken, your solid faith must be securely anchored in me alone. Refuse, absolutely refuse, to be shaken by global unrest or the loud threats of temporary leaders. I am the King of Kings, and no earthly crisis catches me by surprise. I command you to lift up your heavy head. Stop looking down in fear, and start looking up with expectant, massive hope. Live every single day with the thrilling, undeniable reality that my glorious return is drawing closer. Stand firm, hold your light high, and let the dark world see exactly who holds your future. My precious one, I need to talk to you about the massive, hidden weapon you are currently holding. I know exactly how you feel about your own past. You look back at your deep mistakes, your ugly failures, and the messy, broken chapters of your life, and you feel incredibly ashamed. You try desperately to hide those dark chapters from other people. You secretly believe that if anyone truly knew what you have done, they would never listen to you. You think your messy past entirely disqualifies you from being used by me. I command you to completely drop that devastating lie today. I am telling you the exact opposite. Your dark, messy story of redemption is the precise key I want to use to forcefully break someone else's heavy chains. I did not just save you to keep you quiet. I saved you so you could loudly declare my goodness. I invite you to boldly use the massive authority you have been given. You overcome the dark enemy by two specific things: the powerful blood of the Lamb and the raw, honest word of your own testimony. When you openly speak about the deep depression I pulled you out of, you literally strip the enemy of his power. When you share the honest story of how I saved your failing marriage or rescued you from a dark addiction, you throw a massive lifeline to someone who is secretly drowning in the exact same ocean. Stop making the simple gospel so incredibly complicated. You do not need a theology degree to change your life. You only need to look a broken, hurting person in the eye and say, I was completely lost. I was completely broken, but let me tell you exactly what he did for me. I command you to start using your past mistakes as a beautiful, sturdy bridge to reach out to the hurting people around you. The world does not need more perfect, plastic Christians pretending they have absolutely no flaws. The deeply broken world desperately needs real, authentic people who have massive scars and are not afraid to show them. Your scars are the undeniable proof that my healing is absolutely real. Never, ever underestimate the earth-shaking impact of a life that has been totally transformed by my love. I command you to open your mouth this week. Do not hide the miraculous work I have done in your soul. Speak with absolute, fearless authority. Tell your real story, and watch with wide, amazed eyes as I use your painful past to bring massive, eternal freedom to someone who is desperately waiting to hear your voice. My beloved, I am issuing a deep, passionate invitation to your tired soul today. I watch you carefully go through the predictable motions of modern religion. You stand up, you sit down, you sing the familiar songs, and you listen to the weekly sermons. But deep down inside your chest, there is a hollow, aching emptiness. You leave the crowded room feeling just as lonely and exhausted as when you walked in. You are totally starving for a real, burning connection, but you are settling for cold, religious routines. I command you to stop settling for the shallow waters. I am calling you out of the loud, busy outer courts and inviting you directly into the Holy of Holies. I want deep, profound, personal intimacy with your specific heart. I do not want your religious performance. I desperately want your undivided presence. I invite you to forcefully remove the heavy, blinding veils of religion right now. Religion tells you that you must clean yourself up before you can cautiously approach me. I tell you to come to me completely dirty, totally broken, and absolutely exhausted, so that I can personally clean you. I am asking you to find the absolute, total silence. Turn off the loud music. Put away the busy prayer lists. Just come and sit quietly with me. It is in the deep, heavy silence where my still, small voice suddenly becomes the loudest sound in your entire universe. I want you to literally experience the massive, comforting weight of my glory in your private, hidden moments. When you sit alone with me in the quiet room, deeply breathing in my presence, the heavy burdens of your daily life simply melt away. I command you to look directly at my face. Stop looking anxiously at my hands to see what I can give you, and start looking at my face to see how fiercely I love you. The massive transformation you are desperately seeking will not happen by trying harder or working longer. True, lasting transformation only happens when you intentionally pause and behold my pure glory. When you stare at my endless love, you naturally begin to reflect it. I am the only one who can truly, completely satisfy the massive hunger in your soul. The temporary pleasures of this world are like drinking salt water. They will only leave you dying of thirst. Come to the absolute source of living water today. Drink deeply from my presence. Enter the secret room. Shut the heavy door behind you, and let us spend this beautiful, quiet time entirely alone. My child, I see the massive, heavy anxiety you carry concerning your future security. I watch you constantly checking your bank accounts, stressing over your retirement, and worrying about how you will survive in a rapidly changing economy. You spend massive amounts of energy trying desperately to build a safe, comfortable kingdom for yourself on this temporary earth. I command you to instantly lift your eyes higher. Stop building your fragile house on the shifting sand of worldly wealth. The money you hoard will eventually lose its value, and the things you buy will eventually rust and break. I am actively calling you to recognize the massive, eternal treasures I have securely laid up for you in heaven. I have a vast inheritance waiting for you, completely untouched by thieves, untouched by inflation, and untouched by earthly decay. I want you to deeply understand your true, royal lineage. You walk through your office, you walk through the grocery store, and you feel like an ordinary, insignificant person. You let people treat you poorly, and you constantly apologize for taking up space. I command you to stop acting like a helpless peasant. You are a highly favored child of the absolute King of the universe. You carry my royal bloodline in your spirit. I have permanently given you massive, undeniable authority over all the dark powers of the enemy. When you walk into a chaotic, angry room, I command you to use your royal authority to declare absolute peace. You are an official citizen of heaven who is merely residing temporarily on this earth. Do not get too comfortable here. This broken world is absolutely not your final home. I am inviting you to fully embrace the great exchange today. I want you to gladly exchange your deep, agonizing weakness for my endless, eternal strength. I want you to hand me the heavy, dirty rags of your daily anxiety, and I want to dress you in the magnificent, heavy robes of my perfect peace. Stop worrying about what you will eat, what you will wear, or what will happen to you tomorrow. Your entire future is permanently secured by my unbreakable promise. The Creator of the stars has taken full, personal responsibility for your care. Rest completely in that massive truth today. Walk confidently with your head held high, shoulders pushed back, knowing exactly who your Father is. You are rich beyond all human measure, and your glorious inheritance is absolutely, completely safe in my hands. My precious, beloved child, as we come to the end of this specific conversation, I want to leave a massive, unbreakable seal upon your tired heart. I know the deep, secret fear that haunts you late at night. You are terrified that if you mess up one more time, or if the storm gets too incredibly dark, I will finally get tired of you and walk completely away. I am giving you my absolute, final vow today. I will never, ever leave you. I will never aggressively abandon you. Even when you are completely faithless, I remain totally faithful. I am with you always, holding your hand securely, even to the very end of this age. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you do not have to fear any evil, because my massive presence is right there walking perfectly in step with you. I give you my solid word today. I will absolutely finish the incredibly good work I started inside of you. I do not abandon my masterpieces halfway through. You might feel like a messy, unfinished construction zone right now, but I see the final, glorious building. I see the exact moment when you will finally cross the finish line. I want you to close your eyes and deeply imagine that specific moment. Imagine the absolute relief, the explosive joy, and the massive weight falling completely off your shoulders as you step out of this broken world and directly into my brilliant light. Imagine looking directly into my eyes, feeling my strong arms wrapped tightly around you, and hearing me loudly declare, "Well done, my good and totally faithful servant." All the pain, all the tears, and all the brutal waiting will instantly make perfect sense in the light of that eternal embrace. I am filling your heart with a fierce, burning hope of the new heaven and the new earth. A beautiful day is rapidly coming when I will personally wipe every single tear from your tired eyes. There will be absolutely no more death, no more cancer, no more bitter divorces, and no more agonizing crying. The old, broken things will completely pass away, and I will make absolutely everything brilliantly new. Until that glorious day arrives, I issue one final, loving call to your soul. Listen to my voice. Believe my massive promises. Stop running away and come completely home to my heart. I am waiting for you with open arms. Rest deeply in my love today, my beautiful child. You are absolutely safe. You are entirely forgiven. And you are fiercely loved for all eternity. My beloved heir, we have reached the finish line of this conversation, but the mission to bring my children home has only just begun. I have secured your inheritance in the light, and now I am asking you to help me secure the inheritance of others by supporting the spread of this message. Every super thanks, every membership, and every donation given today is a brick in the eternal mansions I am preparing for the lost. You are my witness on this earth, and your financial partnership ensures that my final invitation reaches every ear before the age comes to a close. I declare over you that because you have been faithful in this, I will make you ruler over much, and my favor will be a shield around you forever. Your sacrifice today will be remembered in the new heaven and the new earth as a sweet-smelling aroma before my throne. Do not leave this presence without sealing the word you have received with an act of radical generosity. Follow the command of my Spirit. Use the links provided in the description or the buttons below, and give as a citizen of the kingdom who knows their reward is great. My beloved child, the heavy silence of the world has been permanently broken today, and heaven is now urgently waiting for your reply. If your heart is burning and you are finally ready to claim the massive, unshakable peace I have just promised, I invite you to make a bold, public stand right now. Type the words, "I hear you, Lord, and I am listening to heaven's message today," in the comments below as a powerful, undeniable declaration of your total surrender. The very second you release that faith-filled decree, the heavy chains of your anxiety will completely shatter, and an explosive, unstoppable wave of my divine favor will flood into your everyday life. Do not let this holy, appointed moment pass you by. Step boldly out of the dark, declare your eternal victory, and watch how I radically transform your reality. Amen.